What's up, YouTube? This is your girl, Megan. Welcome back to the Hood Astro Queen. To all of my returning subscribers. However, if this is your first time on my channel on today, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way in because you know you want to. So, today I'm coming to y'all once more with a brand new celebrity birth chart reading, and this time it is on the women of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think I'm going to make this like a 2 or 3 part series. However, I thought this was very fitting given the fact that one, I I watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I have been for a very long time. And I thought it would be pretty interesting to get to know these women from an astrological perspective. All right. So starting off with Miss Kandi Burruss, aka Every Man Wants a Woman.
Every man wants a woman.
So Kandi is 1/4 of the R&B quartet Escape. Now, they were really big in the 90s. They were discovered by Jermaine Dupri and cranked out lots of hits, including Just Kick It, Understanding. I mean, just a whole bunch of shit, all right? Who Can I Run To? You name it. All of my old heads know what I'm talking about, okay? And she was actually bandmates or group mates or whatever with Tiny Tamika Harris, a.k.a. T.I.'s wife. And this newer generation might know them for or from reality television. So, of course, Kandi is now on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Tiny does her own thing between the Family Hustle and other spinoffs from, you know, her family show with T.I. But originally, they were definitely songstresses, and they even done a lot of writing within the music industry, like behind the scenes, which is why Tiny and Kandi are the two more successful ladies of the group. Following the group breaking up, they actually started writing for people such as TLC and a host of other acts within the entertainment industry. And then shortly after that, Kandi found her way onto the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and the rest was history, okay? She's definitely taken the ball and ran with it. Sis created a whole empire for herself. And I don't like using that word, like, because I feel like it's overused. Everybody think they got an empire. Like, no, ma'am, you work at Zaxby's. You hand out Zax sauces. You don't have an empire. But she has a legit empire. Like, hats off. So, in that same vein, we're going to go ahead and get started on her chart. So, Kandi Burruss was born on May 17th, 1976 in Collaport, Maryland. Hold on now, this is Astro charts, so like they do tend to be a little sketchy sometimes. Somebody fact check me, because I thought College Park was in Atlanta. There's a College Park, Maryland? Yeah, I guess. But even with that said, her birth number, which is the number 17, deals with her being in the entertainment industry, her being a leader or boss in the music industry, and does point towards her being a great businesswoman. She's a Taurus with her sun at the 26th degree. Now, it just so happens her sun is conjoined to one of the worst fucking fixed stars called Algol. A lot of astrologers refer to it as the blinking demon, or the literally the worst star in the heavens. And it does bring about grave misfortune. And with it being conjoined to her sun, it could be by way of her husband or children. And it could even point towards a violent death or very extreme sickness. I mean, none of which we've seen, but you know, that's just something to think about. Now, with her being a Taurus, I mean, she exudes hella Taurus energy on the show. One thing that sticks out in my mind is the fact that every scene that the girls do where they have to sit down and eat, you know, you'll have the rest of the girls picking over their food, but not Kandi, honey. Miss Kandi digs in, all right? If we don't know anything about Kandi Burruss, we know that she loves to eat. Very, very Taurian in nature. Another manifestation of Taurus suns is, you know, people being very much geared towards financial security. These people love comfort. This could definitely relate to Kandi in the fact that she's a businesswoman. She's always coming up with new ideas. She's about her paper, okay? She loves that money. And for Taurus people, it's about what the money can afford them. Well, in addition to them just naturally feeling the need to have like a security system, wanting to feel like they have that sense of comfort, they also enjoy the things that money can buy. As Taurus individuals are known for their luxurious taste, okay? They love art. They love the finer things in life. This could absolutely be applied to Kandi. Sis got 2 whole houses, okay? She got a main house and a guest house. And she works hard, but she definitely plays hard. She definitely enjoys the things that her money can afford her. And that's very much Taurus energy. She's also very down to earth and reliable. That's another manifestation of that Taurus energy as well. She just has this sense of likability on the show that appeals to most people because she's practical. That's Taurus energy all day. She might not be the best. I mean, nobody's perfect, but she just stands head and shoulders above the rest of the ladies, in my opinion, because she's the only one who is like literally like just real humble. She's not up her own ass about everything, where you have the other women who are stepping on each other's toes, trying to show who has what, how much each other person has, and oh, I got this and I got that, and oh, look at her, she's keeping it, oh, we doing this and we doing that. Taurus is very much like, look, baby, I'm here. And quiet as it's kept, loud as it is, she's the most like, successful one on the show. I mean, so if anybody has bragging rights, it should be Kandi. But she doesn't, because she's a Taurus and she's hella humble. So there's that on that. She also has a very strong set of values that is very incumbent of that Taurus energy. Taurus individuals tend to hold themselves or carry themselves in a very particular way that aligns with whatever their personal values are. And she's also very stubborn, which is another manifestation of that Taurus energy. And this could be shown like on the show, of course. An example I'm thinking of is when she just took a very long time to forgive Portia after the whole sex dungeon incident. But then also you can point towards examples as far as her group escape. Now, they broke up due to one of the other ladies starting a rumor. Well, I don't know if it was I feel like it was half true and then it was like half rumor. But the lady was saying that Kandi was sleeping with everybody in the industry and that she had had sex with Jermaine Dupri and his father. Now, the truthful part was, and I think Kandi admitted this to a certain extent, that yes, she was having sex with Jermaine Dupri and that she was, single and having fun and living life, but she did not sleep with his father. Which, by the way, Taurus is a very sensual sign that can be very sexual, and a lot of Taurus individuals do have relations at the workplace. So that's still like in that very same vein of like that Taurus energy. However, Kandi was so upset that she absolutely refused to do anything with the girls for upwards to 18 years. And even once they got back together and they decided that they can make money together by touring again, she still had like a chip on her shoulder, and it was very hard for her to like get over that. That's that stubbornness, that Taurus energy. Them motherfuckers will hold grudges on your ass. And then of course, Taurus can also represent her being artistically inclined, all right? Now, to build off of that, her sun is forming a sextile to her Mars, which is at the 0 degree of Leo, reinforcing her being a singer/celebrity in the music industry. And this could even point towards her having very profitable investments made by way of her exposure in the music industry. Her taking chances on different financial opportunities and making money off of it, which we already know Kandi does. She has the whole sex toy line, old lady gang. I mean, she's always looking for a way to make money and to start new businesses. And so I wouldn't even be surprised if she, as well as Todd, have invested their money in different places behind the scenes. And, she's just naturally going to do well with that kind of stuff. Now, her sun is also forming a sextile to her Saturn at the 28th degree of Cancer, which can point towards her opening up that old lady gang restaurant and doing rather well in the restaurant business and being successful in that vein. She could even go into like the hospitality industry, like if she really wanted to like open up hotel chains or anywhere where she's like servicing other people or taking care of or nurturing other people. Saturn in Cancer tends to do very well with that. And in sextile to her sun, I mean, like she is, like I said, once again, a money-making machine. And side note, I read somewhere that the restaurant industry is one of the most difficult industries to break into. You have hella celebrities who get real big and get too big for their britches and feel like they can open up restaurants. And then they fail miserably, such as T.I., P. Diddy, and a host of other people. But Kandi is definitely built for this life. Her moon is in Capricorn, which reinforces her being very career oriented, as it can make her someone who finds emotional comfort in working hard and making money. So it's very compatible with that Taurus energy that she has in her chart, which just reinforces her being this money-making machine. I mean, I can't put it in any other way. Like, sis is just built for a longevity as far as her career is concerned. She is the ultimate career woman. And interestingly enough, with the moon dealing with the way that you nurture your children and motherhood, it could even point towards her career status not really being compatible or conflicting with her desire to be a mom or her ability to parent and be like a hands-on mom, which I know was a big concern in one of these seasons. I think it was the episode where she tried to bring her youngest son to like an award ceremony and it just did not work out. And she was just talking about how she wanted a bigger family, but she was concerned with how she was going to be able to make everything work. That's definitely a manifestation of that Capricorn moon. Now, her being a Capricorn moon also deals with her being the type of person that's not comfortable if she is not being productive. She might even slip into a depression, you know. Like I said, it makes her very hardworking. Another manifestation of her Capricorn moon is her very dry and sarcastic type of humor, like a rather kind of serious personality. And this was a criticism that she received throughout the show because Kandi can be kind of dry. Like, you know, like she talks like that, she kind of, you know, especially if she doesn't really know you, her personality can be kind of dry. That's very Capricorn moon. Also, this could make her the type of person who is very focused with having a good reputation or being in good standing with other people, which is also why she went so hard when Portia accused her of having a sex dungeon. Now, granted, that was a very serious accusation because she kind of hinted at the fact that Kandi raped her, and in this climate, like no, just no. But, you know, she went extra hard because to Capricorn moons, your social standing is everything. Your face card is everything. This placement also makes Kandi the type of person to crave structure, order, and be very big on respect. So she'll typically respect other people, but it's imperative that she receives respect in return. And it could also make her somebody who is very hard on herself. And, you know, failures are not something that she particularly likes. I mean, nobody does, but for a Capricorn moon, they can be very, very, very hard on themselves. And Capricorn is also the sign of punishment. So she could even be the type of person, like if she's not good at something or if she fails at something, to literally punish herself. And it definitely points to her being rather disciplined, which was how she was able to lose a lot of the weight. Because I forgot to mention, another manifestation of that Taurus energy is weight gain due to a very overindulgent kind of tendency. You know, they love food, they love good drink. And there was a time where Kandi got quite thick. Like, she got a little, like, plump. I mean, not fat, but she was definitely very, very thick, which was a stark contrast to her small stature. People were used to seeing her skinny, and at some point, sis she got real thick on them. But then she was able to lose that weight because that Capricorn moon, and I believe her sun and moon are forming a semi-square to one another. So that definitely reinforces that it's kind of going to be like a lifelong thing for her. Like, she'll have the tendency to gain weight, but then she'll be able to pull herself back. You know what I'm saying? But that Capricorn moon, she's going to have to rely on that a lot for her sense of like discipline and to really just get things together. That Capricorn can lose weight like nobody's business. Right? So, yeah, there's that. Her Capricorn moon can also make her rather opportunistic, especially when it comes to her friendships and dealing with other women. And she could have a mom, which we already know, but Cap moons can have mothers who are rather materialistic. Yeah, about that. Mama Joyce is a hot mess, all right? And I remember her always talking about Kandi's money. And even to a point where, like, there was an issue, like, Kandi had to put her on a certain allowance. And truth be told, she was so concerned about Kandi marrying and taking care of other men because she didn't want no competition, okay? She wanted a direct streamline to Kandi's pockets, and she didn't want nobody competing with that or fucking that up. So, yeah, her mom, this definitely reinforces her mom being a rather materialistic person. And Kandi could have viewed her mom as somebody who was rather strict growing up, as well as very, very controlling. And I can see Mama Joyce being controlling, too. And this is reinforced with Kandi's moon squaring her Pluto at the 9th degree of Libra, which could create somebody who has a mother that can either be their best friend or literally their worst enemy. And it does make for a rather manipulative and invasive type of mother as well. Money is also very important to Capricorn moons, which once again is very compatible with that Taurus energy. So like, she's going to be the type of person, she ain't never going to be broke. Okay, it's just not in her nature. She can't function that way. But also, it could make Kandi somebody who is very hell-bent on the past, or like she can have a very nostalgic interpretation of the past, which was very interesting because I don't follow her on Instagram, but I've been on her page a couple of times. And I noticed that she's always posting throwback pictures, like from back in the day, like old pictures of Escape or pictures of her and Aaliyah or her and other celebrities from the past. Like, she's really big on like looking back in the past. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Her moon is forming a trine to her Venus and Jupiter in Taurus. Her Venus conjoined to her Jupiter in the sign of Taurus does reinforce her being in the music industry. And it just reiterates a lot of those traits of her Taurus sun. But, it deals with her being like very much a money-making machine. Like, I'm literally going to say this 50,000 times. She is a money-making machine, okay? She can accumulate a lot of financial wealth. And so, in trying to her moon, this can create a situation that, like I said, reinforces her securing business deals and having very harmonious relationships with people in the industry, just other people that maybe even her peers. It can deal with her being respected amongst her peers and all that jazz. Also, Jupiter conjoined to Venus and Taurus can reinforce this theme of her gaining weight very easily as well. So that's just that on that. Now her Mercury is in Gemini, which deals with her being a writer. Okay, she writes for other people, and it makes her somebody who is also very witty, and rather talkative, very expressive. Her Mercury is forming a sextile to her Mars in Leo, which deals with her being an entrepreneur with many streams of income, which obviously we all know that to be true. It can even deal with her writing for celebrities, which we already know to be true, writing within the music industry. And it could even deal with her writing screenplays, which we all know she wrote and produced that play called The Mother's Love a while back. And it also deals with her being just rather vocal and, like I said, very expressive and even youthful. Gemini is the sign of youth, and she does have a certain youthful air about her. Now, her Mars is in Leo, and it could play out in a variety of ways. So, like, one way is obviously her being in the music industry, her being a celebrity in the entertainment industry, her having a passion or flair for acting and theater. And fun fact, in high school, actually, she was a theater major, which actually could be another manifestation of her, her Mercury sextiling her Mars. It could be another manifestation of that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because Mercury does deal with grades K through 12. But yeah, she was a theater major in high school. She went to Tri-Cities. Woo woo. So yeah, there's that. But it can also manifest in a woman attracting either a king or a woman who wants to treat her husband like a king. In turn, her husband can even be kind of bossy, just straight up like a tyrant, because he wants to be the king of his castle. And the little that I have seen of Todd, I mean, I kind of really don't pay attention to him, but I feel like this could be true for him, especially with Leo dealing with the entertainment industry. It could point towards a woman who's dating a man who works in the entertainment industry, which Todd does. I think he's a producer. And it could deal with a woman dating a man who's very financially secure on his own. Like, he's a powerhouse on his own. He might not make as much money as Kandi, and I know Mama Joyce liked to play him in the beginning like he was just a bum off the streets, but Todd can hold his own. Like, he's a very successful multi-thousandaire, which isn't bad, especially in comparison to us common folk. The other flip side of Mars and Leo is a woman attracting a man child. A man where she has to hold his hand through everything. She has to do everything for him. He literally acts like a big ass kid. This could be a man with a whole lot of kids. And it makes me think back to that dude AJ that she dated back in like the first or second season of the show. And this nigga had 50,000 children, bro. On God. He had like 10 kids or something like that. And Mama Joyce was not happy about it. That's definitely another manifestation of Mars and Leo. Or a woman who's dating a man where she has to take care of him. And like, she treats him like a child. So, but I think Kandi, from what I've seen of her relationship with Todd, is more of the first type. So there's that. Her Mars and Leo also makes her super creative, but also extremely competitive. And she's admitted this on the show at several points, that she's extremely competitive. And that's because Mars and Leo is very athletic even. They're athletically inclined. So they have like that competitive mentality that does well with sports and recreational, like physical activity. Also, Mars and Leo can be very violent, okay? Very, very violent. So when angered, these people can get downright gully. All right, and I think of that episode on the show where she got into it with Nene. And she was like, all right, you better get up out my face while I get the blowing up on your ass. Or when she almost fought Marjorie, Cynthia's sister, at the lingerie party. Kandi is not finna play the radio with your ass, okay? It might take a lot to get her to that point, but if Kandi ever got violent, I have a feeling that she gonna give somebody a well-whooped ass, okay? And that's Mars in Leo, full stop. Mars and Leo could also produce issues surrounding children, and this is reinforced with her Mars being conjoined to her Saturn and at the 28th degree of Cancer. And that number 28 also deals with karmic family issues as well. But this aspect can point towards fertility problems, issues at home, and it could actually point towards third-party interference, like love triangle. So I wouldn't even be surprised if Todd was cheating. This aspect can bring about her dating men who are subject to head injuries of some sort, which is kind of interesting because The AJ guy that I just mentioned from the first season, he actually died due to like a blow to the head. He was fighting, and I know like he was fighting somebody outside the club. The guy hit him in the head, and it triggered like a seizure. I think he had already had an ongoing medical condition, but that was just very interesting. This aspect also deals with her working with Todd, by the way, going in on the old lady gang together, going into business in that respect. And it could also reinforce there being like a clash between her family and the men that she introduces into the fold, which we've all seen play out with Todd and Mama Joyce. Her Mars is also squaring her Uranus and Scorpio. Y'all, I think Todd's cheating. I think Todd is definitely cheating. And I know there was like this scandal with Portia on the show where she was like, oh yeah, I saw Todd in New York. I feel like that might not have been true, but I feel like Todd is cheating. Like, because this aspect can point towards there being secrets within the marriage. I mean, it could also point towards Kandi being very freaky and rather indiscriminate as it pertains to her sexual partners. Men, women, whatever. And I mean, we kind of all know that. That's kind of been a running joke on the show. People will call her a hoe, like as an insult. People know that she's actually been open about her experiences, her former experiences with women. I don't know if she identifies as bisexual or anything of that nature, but she definitely is a freak. She's a freak. Okay, but outside of that, I feel like that there could be secrets in the marriage, secrets of like a sexual nature. Like I said, I feel like it's something there. I feel like Todd is cheating, especially with her Mars being conjoined to Saturn at that 28th degree. I feel like he's cheating, and this could also deal with Kandi messing with married men herself. Her Mars is also squaring her Chiron, which is at the 29th degree of Aries. There's that number, the anaretic degree, once again, like, which literally deals with third party situations. So this could point towards Todd being selfish. I'm also wondering if he's abusive. Now, this is speculative on my part. I'm not saying he beating her ass. I'm not like, but this aspect can make for that. It can make for an abusive husband. And Mars in Leo is a rather abusive placement anyway. So I don't know. Maybe he could have anger management issues. That's another manifestation of that 29th degree. This could deal with him having problems with women. It could deal with Kandi making undesirable trade-offs to be in the relationship. It can deal with Todd being insecure, even Kandi for that matter. And it deals with there being a sense of desperation there, either on Todd's part or on Kandi's part. So that's very interesting. Her Saturn is also squaring her Chiron, which reinforces this sense of family issues. And it can bring lots of upheavals in karmic situations by way of family. This can also point towards her brother dying, and I think he died in a car accident. I thought that was kind of interesting as well. Her Uranus is opposing her Chiron, which reinforces this theme of like sudden accidents and could make her prone to injuries in the head and burns and stuff like that. And and circling it back like to her Taurus sun, Kandi is a Scorpio North node. So like her sun isn't conjoined to her South node. Let me see. It's not conjoined to her South node. But even with that being said, Kandi does have a natural tendency to be rather materialistic. And I get she's a businesswoman and she's in her bag and she's doing the damn thing. But based off of her lunar nodal placements in this lifetime, she has a karmic duty to get out of the material world. You know what I'm saying? To step out of this, I gotta live a traditional life. I gotta work hard. I gotta make money. I want to clinging on to her possessions and the things around her and the things that money can buy, and really stepping into her own sense of spirituality, which could definitely be a challenge, especially with her Sun, Venus, and Jupiter all in the same sign as her South node. She probably came from a past life where she had to work very hard. She could have even been like a hoarder, like a material hoarder in a previous lifetime. Somebody who found it very hard for them to separate themselves from the things that they have, or who had an incessant need to accomplish more, do more, build more, get more. And at some point, you just have to sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor, but then also tap into a sense of intuitiveness and power to where you don't even operate from that same plane of existence. You know, he has a karmic duty to live a life that is extraordinary while transforming the lives of others. I don't know how much or to what extent she's unlocked this North Node. I feel like she hasn't fully. I don't feel like she hasn't, but I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all drop down in the comment section below. Let me know what y'all thought of this reading, because this is getting a little lengthy. I'm going to wrap it up. And I'll be back with another housewife from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And yeah, make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until the next video, I holla.